Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Taylor Jones. And do you have any idea what time it is? Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to my YouTube series, Cold Man's Winter Season 4. And for those that watched my last video, thank you so much. But for those that didn't, don't worry. The link will be in the description bar down below. So, what am I going to talk about for this episode of Cold Man's Winter? Well, now, last week, I tried to do a premiere when it came to talking about criticism, but that's exactly what I'm planning to do. So this episode, I'm going to talk about criticism. Now, when you think of criticism, you think a lot about a lot of people that's giving you some advice, even when it's good and or bad. It's like it's unbalanced. But when it comes to dealing with criticism, I can give you a perfect example when it comes to a guy named James Hilfiger. Now, back in 1993, James Hilfiger was fresh out of college. He just got his bachelor's degree and now he's already looking for a job. He applied for the radio station WNSD, referring to New Sound Dover FM. And this was in Dover, Delaware. The story takes place in Dover, Delaware. Now, he was around 20. How old was he? Let's just say he was 26. Because after graduating from a community college, he decided to continue where he left off after a 1 year hiatus from school. So he was making his way up to the big shots, the big leagues. And when he interviewed for the job, the mastermind, the CEO responsible for the radio station, he introduced himself, and James, he actually answered some questions that were complicated, but he kept his eyes on the prize, and he just got signed. I mean, well, not signed. He got the job. So this was back in 1993. Now remember, this is the first time he worked with a radio station, a local radio station where they play absolutely nothing but hip hop and R&B. And it was a real good feeling because James, he had a powerful voice and he actually got everybody on the mood. And his favorite day to work for WNSD was Friday, because from 2 to 3 p.m. he always plays throwback music, and it was a real good time of his life. But then all of a sudden, the shenanigans didn't start until, like, let's just say that there was another employee that was known for being a big star of the show. WNSD's very own legend, Miss Kathy Richards. Kathy Richards, she has been in the radio station since 1989, and she was getting the hang of it, and she spotted James, and she introduced herself because she didn't know that there was a new employee. So at first she was happy, like, this to meet him, but behind her back, behind James' back, she was actually jealous. But after 3 months, things are going completely smooth for James, and all of a sudden, in month number 4, a lot of issues started to build up when it came to Kathy's jealousy towards James, because if you already know, James is definitely in love with the Throwback Friday hours, and all of the individuals, all the teenagers, all the black folks, they like to play basketball, bump some tunes, just cruising, and like, man, they were just feeling the vibe. First, when like one day they played "Don't Stop the Music" by Yarbrough and Peoples, yeah. And other times they played some real old school funk, like from Zap to Cameo, and even hip hop like Jam on It, Nucleus, and oh, I mean, he was madly in love with the sound. So for month 4, he had to deal with some changes. Despite, let's just say that he gets paid. James gets paid around, um, let's say he gets paid 19 an hour for all the hard work that he did on his regular 9 to 5 job. And it was the same pay. And everybody's getting paid 19 an hour. But based on the hard work that Kathy did since she was at the radio station WNSD since '89, she got paid a little bit more. And that was $21 an hour. But she's been there for 4 years, and James has started. And nothing bad happened until, let's just say that month 4, it was starting smoothly, but when half of the month was gone, the first half of the month was gone, James was doing his regular Friday throwback Friday routine, getting ready to get on the top of things, and all of a sudden, oh no, not yet. The door doesn't open yet. He knocked. Someone heard a knock. James heard a knock on the door and say, "Oh, come in." Oh, hello, Kathy. What brings you here? Well, Kathy came in to talk to James, and yes, it was about that time when. Well, actually, this was after he wrapped up the Throwback Hour, the Throwback Friday, and Miss Kathy started to get personal. I mean, they talked about it and like she asked questions. He was curious and like, but dig this. Let's just say that she actually started to sound like a little bit of a threat and saying that, listen, this radio station, it's mine. I'm taking over the show. You just doing part of the work. And since you've been enjoying this job for 4 months, why why not let me take over? Wait a minute now. I have no beef with you, but you got $21. I only got 19. It's just a start for me. Well, that's true, but ain't nobody's going to take my shine away. Not even you. Well, if that's the case, does your does the CEO, the mastermind of this radio station, know about this? Heck no. This is an A and B conversation. He's going to see his way out of it. Now you just had your fun with Throwback Friday, but some things will change. And if you refuse to accept it, I'm going to get every last cent, and then you're going to be out of here for good. Like, whoa, wait a minute. Now, wait a minute. This is like after a four a 4 year, a 3.5 month run, and now she wants to be the big shot. She wants to be the head supreme of WNSD. New sound. No, it's more like it was starting to sound like WNSK, as in W New Sound Karen, because that's what Kathy is becoming. Kathy is becoming a Karen. But this is before the Karen thing came out a few years ago, since the 2020s. I don't know. But this Karen thing has been going on too far. And yes, like for instance, after that so-called threat, she walks out. James tried to shake it off like, whew, what just happened? I mean, what she mean by that? So every day it's starting to go completely downhill like a roller coaster. Like it's like you going up, but now you're stuck. But for a couple Fridays between months 4 through 6, it's been one heck of a downfall for James, because one Friday, the song that he likes to play a lot, let's say that he played one song and it came from the Fushnikins back when they were hot at the time, but this is 1 year later. This is 93. They made a song with Shaquille O'Neal called "What's Up, Doc? Can We Rock?" But he was playing either the true Fushnik or Lash Move. Yo, we ain't got nothing to prove. Lash Move. Yes, he played Lash Move, and let's just say that he was told by one of the supervisors that well, he was not supposed to play that song. But then 1 week later, one Friday, Throwback Friday later, he was not supposed to play Real Compton City G's. Not even Dre Day by Dr. Dre and Eazy-E when they were rivals. But Eazy-E had his last laugh. But then, heck, he even played the Crips and Bloods. He played Banging on Wax, Steady Dippin', and Pyru Love. But unfortunately, week number 3, another Friday, well, a throwback Friday, including new joints at the time. New joints. Man, he couldn't even get a break. He couldn't even play Bloods and Crips back when they were banging on wax. He couldn't even do that. And what are like, okay, James asked himself, like, what the heck is going on? How come I'm not playing any songs? I mean, I even got a list of what not to play. All of a sudden, like when he argued with himself, like, and all of a sudden, Kathy, who became a Karen, she got sneaky. She looked outside from the window, like, my plan is working. Oh, James is a sucker. And then it's like, and even the African Americans who listen to WNSD, like, every time he gets on the air, when James gets on the air and tells that the songs that they like to hear are no longer getting played, like, well, yo, ho. How long has it been going on? It's been 3 weeks. But, as I was saying, between months 4 through 6, it was hardships. And not only that, months 7 through 9, his payday got completely worse. From 19 all the way down to 12. $12 an hour? Meanwhile, Kathy Richards, aka Karen, she got 19, no, she got 21 on a daily, plus a $4 bonus, which means she gets 25 an hour now. Unbelievable. People starting to question WNSD, like, what's going on with James? I mean, why can't we play the songs? And even the CEO was not pleased with it. To the fact that in month 10, James was called to his office, the CEO's office. Have a seat, James. Now, for a while, I've been getting a lot of complaints, and it has something to do with you. Can you explain what the deal is? Well, for a while, sir, ever since um, 4 months ago, I mean, no. 6 months ago, I was I was playing a regular song based on Throwback Fridays, including the new joints at the time. But dig this, I get I get stopped by. I mean, um, I get a little word of concern from the supervisors, and they told me that I can't play one song after and another song a week after. Like, I don't understand. I don't feel comfortable. But the deal is, why must it be like that? I don't know why it's a bad thing. I mean, it's just hip hop and R&B. Ain't nothing foul playing. And even if the foul words were playing, I made sure to mute them and or reverse them. Keep it friendly, family friendly. Yes, but I'm aware. I appreciate your honesty, but that's not enough. Now, for a while, we have been seeing you fall down, and you're about to drive everybody insane, and you're about to make me feel uncomfortable with your work, how you handle business for this radio station. You went from 19 all the way down to $12, and I feel like it's about that time that you need to think things through. So what's the real reason why you are struggling? Why are you not following the policy? You know what? I'm starting to think that the answer to your question has to has to go for one of your favorite employees, or should I say a Karen by the name of Kathy. Kathy, you mean the Kathy Riches? How long you been keeping this up from me? You questioning my loyalty, sir? Ever since month number 4, she came to me and she's like, I'm taking over the show. If you recall, sir, this is WNSD, not WNSK. It's Dover, not Kathy. And now you going to question me over my authority? You know what? I can't take this anymore. I'm going back to work. Hey, you come back here. No! I am not going to stay here and talk to you. I'll be darned for me to lose my job because of what you got to say. It's kind of like you holding back on Karen. How come she not fired? She started this mess. The supervisors made me stop playing all these songs. Read them and weep. Read them and weep, sir. And you see what I'm talking about. She's the reason why I got $12 and she got 25. What the heck? How dare you criticize me for not putting in so much work when I'm getting criticized negatively by the supervisors that come to my workstation and Miss Karen, Miss Kathy smiling and grinning. That little Grinch. And if the African American radio listeners have a problem with that, they might as well come to me in person. And I'm going to tell them the truth. Because what would Jesus do, huh? Have you thought of that? Or are you too scared to be an alpha? Because you're a beta. You and I are betas. So much for women taking over us, knowing our every little weak spot. Until then, you might as well forget about me. If I ain't gonna make enough money, then I can totally take a break. And all of a sudden, he just walked out while the CEO of WNSD read the list of all the songs that were no longer played, from Real Compton City G's to Dre Day, all the way to La Schmooth, the Fushnik, I mean, the True Fushnik, Pyru Love, Banging on Wax, and Steady Dipping. I mean, the CEO should have known better. He should have checked on him every now and then. But no. He already figured that James had it under control, but James was already amped up. He felt like he was about to quit. But in speaking of which, it took him 2 years. James, 2 years without a job. 2 months, actually. 2 months away from WNSD. But he had a good amount of money to find a way. Like, he spent his money wisely and take care of his bills and whatnot. And he even tried his very best to keep his head held high. But unfortunately, 2 months after he stormed out of his CEO's office, the guy who welcomed him to WNSD, all the teenagers were really disappointed in him. All the black folks who listened to that radio station was disappointed in him. Hey, is that him? Who's that? Who? I think his name is James. James Hilfiger. Yo, that is him. Yo, we need to talk to this man right here, right now. Hey, yo, Mr. James Hilfiger, is that you? That's my name. Don't wear it out. I got one question for you. What the heck is wrong with you, man? How come you never played our song for months? Yeah, man, what happened to Real Compton City G's? What happened to the Throwback Friday, the Flash? Come on, man. Why you giving up, man? What the deal, son? You know, we would have messed you up right now if you left. Well, tell that to the radio station. No excuses. No excuses. Says who? You? The CEO? The police? Or worse, that Karen, that Grinch, the double crosser named Kathy Richards? Hey, don't you talk crap about her. What you gonna do then? What you gonna do? You ain't got no gun. You ain't gonna hit me. I stormed out 2 months ago. And now y'all want me back. This is a woman's doing behind all this. Why am I getting paid $12? Why am I not playing a song? Because I'm stupid supervisor. And that has something to do with that Karen, that Grinch, that Kathy. I'm about to set it off on her one day. But it takes time. And I got all my ish together. Wait. So you saying that Kathy Richards, the head supreme of WNSD, threatened you? Yes. And she got a plan to get rid of you? Yes. Well, why didn't you say something? Well, I did. But the boss, the CEO, the mastermind of the radio station He was so ashamed, so scared to put her in her place. Heck, I even had 50 songs or worse, 50 to 100 songs that I'm not supposed to play. No! And one girl who loves WNSD, she loves Throwback Friday. No! You mean to tell me? Oh, James. And James was welcomed with open arms like a hug. And the guys who were angry at him asking what the heck is wrong with James, he was like, yo, he's been out of a job for 2 months and he doesn't get paid. Oh, man. So it's like everybody was quiet. They comfort James. James Hilfiger was at a wit's end. And dig this, it's been a year. A year. Now, 3.5 months, the first 3.5 months were smooth. But then all of a sudden, Kathy takes over. Makes his job uncomfortable. Because she said that she does not want to get replaced. That was her doing. But then, oh, James, I wish you could just come back to that place and give a little taste of your own medicine, strong enough to make Kathy weak. You know what? I got an idea. I'm thinking about going back for the new year and start off brand new, powerful. So everybody who surrounded James and heard him say that, they like, oh heck yeah, this is what we looking. This is the James that we know. Let's give WNSD a taste of your own medicine. Yeah. So 1 month later, after a year of hardships, and tough love and criticism, criticism that drove Mr. James Hilfiger up the wall. Kind of like when you hear the timpani drum roll in Rick James's Hollywood at the chorus and spotting James jumping off a highway bridge to his death. But instead of dying, he transported to another city, trying to find out where he truly belongs. So, early one morning, Friday morning, he came back to WNSD Dover, locked the door where he works at, and plays the songs that he, now remember, he gave the list to the CEO, but he had an extra. He wrote it twice. But he started playing all the songs that were forbidden from WNSD based on the supervisors, all because of Kathy. He played Real Compton City G's. He played Dre Day, but he played Dre Day first. But then he said, oh, well, that's not all, ladies and gentlemen. This is Eazy-E's response. He played the Bloods and Crips. He played the Fushnikins. He played all the songs that were forbidden. Even the old school ones. Like, for instance, he played, what did he play? And it was forbidden. He played Tupac's Trapped. He played, Strata Compton. He played all the hip hop and R&B that nobody in their bright mind should listen to. All because of the band. But what what the radio station didn't know is this this so-called James Hill figure was getting back at the so-called famous Kathy Richards. To the fact that he played, like, when the throwback hour came on Friday from 2 to 3, he played Criticized by Alexander O'Neal, based on one whole year of hardships with the radio station. That he's like doing a retaliation, especially when you hear Alexander O'Neal singing, "Don't criticize my friends. Don't criticize my ID. Don't criticize my lifestyle. Cause I'm fed up, cause all you wanna do is criticize on your mind. Ooh, criticize, yeah. All you wanna do is criticize. You know how serious that James was taking it. He was taking his revenge, his I'm back by popular demand, and ain't no dang Karen Rich, no, Keith, Kathy Karen Richards gonna take me out. I'm getting my $19 back, or maybe even more. But it's funny when he said that the CEO was not pleased when he heard it. But he was like, wait, I thought he was gone. Why is he back? Oh no, he's getting revenge. Kathy. And all of a sudden, after the meeting in his office in 2 months ago, he realized that James was not playing. James was not playing at all. He was going to get his shine back. And all of a sudden, he realized, the CEO realized that there was a crowd full of black African American individuals, teenagers and older, outside the station like, yo, yeah, go. Just dancing around, having a barbecue, drinking lemonade, sodas, and all that, and just playing their radio. Hey, yo, turn it up. Yeah. But the next song that they were playing, that he was playing, oh, dig this. He went old school, like New Jack Swing old school, but way before Miss Kathy started to work for WNSD Dover. And that song was Groove Me, Baby, Tonight. Yeah. Yeah, they were clapping their hands, doing their dance, having so much fun. Everybody outside the radio station, they knew they were number one. James was having the time of his life, getting some mad revenge, but he's playing the songs that were forbidden from 2 to 3 p.m. He stayed in his office. No, he stayed in his room, locked doors. And then he heard a knock, but he kept on rocking around the hip hop and R&B clock. From New Jack Swing to the new days of 1993, but now it's 94, and guess what? It's time to let the past be. And when Kathy got to the station, he was like, "Hey, what the heck is going on? Yo, hey, what's going on?" I don't know. I mean, I think it has something to do with, like, for dig this. That James Hill figure had something to do with this. He's in his room. That's it. We gotta stop this madness. He's playing all the songs that we forbidden. But wasn't this your idea? I don't care. We gotta stop him. Hey, open the dang door. And like, oh, you want more? And he turned up the radio so loud and he played another song. And yes, he played a lot. From Guy to Lord to the Underground to Hi-Fi. He was taking over the radio station. And not to mention, because of that, the supervisors that worked with Kathy, it's like, you know what? Maybe we need to stop. We don't need to deal with this crap. What are you talking about? We misled James. All because of this hood rat, this Kathy. Excuse me? Who you calling hood rat? You. You the one that paid us to do this. And if you got a problem with that, you might as well tell the CEO. F him. That's what she said. She said F the CEO. I beg to differ. Did you just drop the F bomb on me? Yes, she did. And yes, the supervisors that worked for her behind the CEO's back, they told the truth. Like, one of them knew that we made James's life a living nightmare, to the fact that he left the radio station WNSD Dover and became a Dover loser for 2 months until the African American crew got back with anger in their eyes, to the fact that James let his frustration, his anger out on them, to a female listener comforting him with open arms, a hug, to the fact that everybody knew he was hurting. So since the CEO knew what James was up against because of Kathy, everybody that listened to him during the Throwback Friday hours, they saw the same hurt as much as the CEO did. The CEO did. So with all that being said, to make matters short, after the so-called jam, the jam-packed, the jam-packed fun and the party outside WNSD, he had to close up the shop. James had to close up the shop, the throwback hour. He did all that to prove a point, that the funk is here to stay. And if your name ain't James Hilfiger, then you might as well back off, because there's no way I'm going to let you pull the trigger. But since the CEO had the key, well, he opened it up. He held Kathy by his arm, by her shoulder. Sir, on behalf of the supervisors that worked for her and myself, for not trying to take this seriously, I would like for you to do me a favor. Favor? What are you talking about? And the supervisor gave him this little letter. And it says, the pink slip special. Well, I be danged. Miss Kathy Richards, after 4, which should have been 5 years, in the year 1994, I would have to give you the pink slip special. Pink slip special? Nobody talks about that anymore. Well, it's been quiet, but because of how you treated me and threatened me, letting these guys tell me what not to play, leading me to storming out 2 months to finally get my way in revenge, it's best for me to say this. Kathy, on behalf of the WNSD family, Dover family, you are fired. What? Fire? You can't do this to me. Screw you. I'm not. I mean, nobody's gonna replace me. Nobody. Like, so be it. So, afterwards, the supervisors grabbed me and carried Karen to the outside, like, yo, you better put me down. I can't believe you sold me out. Man, good chick, please. I mean, just let her go. Hey, come on now. And they just closed the door, locked it behind her. Hey, yo, that's the chick right there. Yeah. And they poured drinks on her like, yo, screw you. Man, take that. This for James. He'll figure, nigga. Yeah, what? Bust the move there, chick. They celebrate. But man, but afterwards, like when they were about to close up shop, like a 9 to 5, dig this. Like when they're now James works from 9 to 5, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. And like on a Monday through Friday schedule. He gets Saturdays and Sundays off. And before he left, the CEO wanted to give him a welcome back pay as a way of saying, I'm sorry that I didn't trust you. Why didn't he got his welcome back pay? Instead of getting $19, he got the Kathy share, $25. So he gets paid $25 an hour, which is like $200 a day. But for 5 days, you'll get $1,000. Now that is a type of money. $25 a day working for WNSD, coming back to claim what he loved to do. And not only that, he told him that from now on, no more Throwback Fridays. It'll be throwback. We will have a throwback hour from Monday through Friday from 2 to 3. Nice! So, all of a sudden, the CEO and James got into great terms. And as for the supervisors that treated him like garbage, they shook hands as a way of saying, I'm sorry, but welcome back. Yeah, we really appreciate what you did. Try to open up our eyes. And when he left, all the individuals that were outside, they were like, yeah! All right, James, yeah! That's the dude right there. So everybody, they were happy for him, and they left alongside with James. They left. But dig this. One Saturday after celebrating his comeback victory, he was getting himself ready to go to a movie on the other side of town, just to celebrate his happiness, his joy of getting his job back and getting a better pay. But dig this. Oh, there was a female dressed up in black, Loke sunglasses, like the ones that I got right here, bandana, black with white paisley, driving in an El Camino 1986. And she made her way way to his house. Excuse me, are you Mr. James Hilfiger? Um, yes, and to whom am I speaking to? Hmm, Kathy Double Crosser? Oh no! You knew, you knew where I'm going with this. Kathy was about to commit a drive-by on James for retaliating on her, causing her to be fired from WNSD. He ran for his life. Brrr. She had a little Uzi shooting and driving at him, like committing a drive-by. James was running for his life, and then all of a sudden, she went from one gun to another. So her Uzi was out of bullets. She only had one clip. But then she switched from that to a 9mm gun. A Beretta, actually. A chrome Beretta pistol. She started firing let's say she started firing 10 shots. All of them missing him. But shot number 11, it actually hit a cop window, a cop car's window. Oh no! Oh shucks! All units, repeat. We have been hit. We have been hit. And yes, the cops spotted everything. And then she shot 14 bullets, 12 through 14. And shooting at everything in sight. Well, not a human yet, but 15 and 16, she was close to hitting James. He was running fast and swift, but unfortunately, bullet number 16, boom. Despite he was running, James acted like he got shot. Oh! So, all of a sudden, the El Camino was parked. Kathy steps out of the El Camino. And he was crawling like, boom! Oh! Turn around. With no hesitation, he just turned around, hands in the air. And he's like, you know what? Screw this. You got me. Take me to heaven. I should have known. You ruined my life. You made me lose my job. All because I did you a favor. No one was supposed to replace me from WNSD. But since you made a fool of me, I might as well take you out where you stand. Any last words, James? Yes, just one. Sorry. Well, that's not going to cut it. So she tried to pull the trigger. Kathy tried to pull the trigger on James, but dig this. What the? Oh my gosh. Really? I'm out of bullets again? Not only that, you got extras. Extras? What are you talking about? Give up. I mean, put down the gun, Miss Kathy Richards. Kathy Richards. She got arrested for an attempted murder. although nobody was hit. But for shooting at a police officer car, trying to shoot James, you know good and doggone well she had to learn her lesson the hard way. Handcuffed, Miranda rights, placed inside the back of her, well, not her car, but the box Chevy of a 1986 Chevrolet Caprice police car with the incandescent red and blue lights. The guns were found in her El Camino, well, the Uzi that she used, but then the police took James back to his house and said, "Sir, you have a pleasant evening, because she's not going to bother you ever again." So he got into his car, and let's just say his car was a 1977 Dodge Monocle, or the automobile that was well known for the Blues Brothers movie, back when it was Dan Aykroyd and the late James Belushi. He heads to the movie and saw his African American individuals, well, the radio listeners from WNSD. Okay, let's just say it wasn't a movie theater. He went to a drive-in in Dover, Delaware. Dover, Delaware's #1 drive-in, sponsored by WNSD. Now that was a mind-blown moment, a feel-good moment for James. Everybody was pleased to see James and applaud him. They was like, woo! And of course, James had the privilege to say, "And now, ladies and gentlemen, our feature presentation," showing the movies that were playing that was hot in '94. Now, this was a good way to end the story for James. Meanwhile, Kathy Karen Richards, she was found guilty for an attempted murder, and she was sentenced to, dig this, 16 years with the parole of 8. But that's if she was in a good behavior. And the CEO, he was very pleased with James Hilfiger's. He was pleased with Hilfiger's attendance and his courageous moves, from Throwback Fridays to playing a throwback hour every Monday through Friday from 2 to 3. This was a dream come true. He made it happen. And he was even featured in the cover of a magazine, Dover's very own, DVO. And James Hilfiger made the cover. He was the most talked about. So Dover, Delaware was pleased with the life decisions that he made, and how seriously he took a fight to work from a local station where it's hip hop and R&B made for black folks, to set the good mood even on a Friday, to making the throwback hour supreme. And it became the #1 radio station in Dover, Delaware. With all that being said, if it wasn't for James Hilfiger, everybody would have been happy for him and listened to some funk. Because I remember saying this, the funk is here to stay, and it still is. With all that being said, this is what happens when James took criticism, but he had to flip the script. because time is money. But a wise mind makes everything better. And that's what we need to work on this day and age. With all that being said, thank you very much for listening to my story about criticism. Because everybody got to face criticism, good or bad. But when it's bad and somebody's doing this to hurt you, you're going to have to flip the script. There's no such thing as good revenge, but you can't be quiet for too long. Even when it comes to sexual harassment and being bullied and pressured and even threatened for your own life. You got to tell the truth. You got to let somebody know what the deal is. Snitches get stitches, that's true, but I don't give a dang about that. Snitches have the right to do what they have to do to survive. You may call me a sellout, but I can give a dang less, because you're the real sellout for putting me in a bad situation and threatening my life. This is how James felt about Kathy. Kathy had to learn things the hard way. She's serving 16. Meanwhile, James, he's DBO, Dover's very, very own. With all that being said, criticism, you got to be aware of that. From the old year out to the new year in. From Sunday through Saturday. All day, every day. Until you realize what it takes to say, no, I had enough. And yes, this episode has been brought to you by this week's Sweet Lady of the Week. But instead of one, I give you two Sweet Ladies of the Week. And who are these sweet ladies? The Lipscomb sisters, Heaven and Odyssey Lipscomb. And to Heaven and Odyssey, if you're watching this, I'm just letting you know from the front. I'm not going to forget about you, even though you've been through a lot, hardships. But not only am I dedicating this to you, I'm also dedicating this to your father, Quincy D. Lipscomb, God rest his soul. And I mean, in times like this, when you lose a loved one, I have to put you on, regardless. So, and to all the other viewers, if you like what you're hearing, feel free to like, comment, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Click the notification bell if you haven't already, and that way you can stay up to date with what I'm going to put out on my YouTube channel, TC Jones Edits, and there will be more in stores. And with all that being said, this is yours truly, Taylor Jones, not from WNSD, but shout out to all the individuals from Dover, Delaware, since I had to tell a fictional story about an individual from 1993 from Dover, Delaware, and I just can't give up the fight yet. You got to roll with the punches, go with the flow, you know what I'm saying? But for real, this is yours truly, Taylor Jones, signing out.